Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, ogidiimasuen. So the topic for today is about breastfeeding. Today I'm going to be sharing my own personal experience with breastfeeding and breast milk, and also showing you guys other people talking about their experience, because I try as much not to just talk about just my experience when it has to do with sensitive topics, with motherhood or any topic in general, to also hear from other people, so it's not just me talking and then people are not like, oh, Wumi's talking again. So no. So what is breastfeeding, right? Simple. Breastfeeding, a woman gives birth, breastfeed the child so that the child can eat, be healthy, be strong, gain nutrition, right? Well, not quite. It's not that quite simple. It is, but not really, because there's a lot that comes with breastfeeding, right? For example, not every woman's milk comes in right on time, or it honestly never comes in at all. For one baby might be different than the other baby. It all depends on your body during your process of when you have your child. For me, when I had my daughter Athanasia, my milk came in great, but my daughter wouldn't latch. Yes, she wouldn't latch. I went to lac technician, whatever they call them, went to different classes to try to make her latch. It never worked. I will say for the whole time she probably latched, in a year I'll say she probably latched once or twice, because my meal came in, and I really wanted to breastfeed her, because I'm a strong believer of giving your child all the natural ingredients they need, and breast milk is one of them. Then again, doesn't mean I'm going to be against a mom who decides not to breastfeed your child because of their own personal reason. No, like I said, everybody does things differently, and motherhood, parenthood is a personal journey that you need to go in your own pace, in your own direction, and do what you believe is best for you and what's best for your child. So because my daughter didn't latch, I said, okay, no problem. Since my milk came in, I decided to pump. I actually pumped for 1 year for her, and for that 1 year, every day I will pump in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. I pumped 3 times a day from when she was born to when she was 1 year old. I did that out of my own free will. My husband, he never was one to push for anything. He was more so, do whatever makes you happy, do whatever makes you comfortable. At a point, he wanted me to stop because he saw how draining it was, how it was taking a toll on me, but I decided to keep on going because that's what I wanted to do personally for myself and for my child. It wasn't easy. Yes, it's not the same as your child being there on your boobs sucking for sometimes could be minutes to hours, but that machine's like drawing on your nipple and all that tells a toll on you. My boobs are not as perky as they used to be before I had them, before I stopped pumping. But hey, that's one of the sacrifices as mother, as parenthood, as motherhood that you have to do for your kids. Now, there might be some people who their kid will latch on, but their milk does not come in at all. My sister is an example. For her first child, Israel, my nephew, she tried all sorts of things, from the cookies to the drinks to milks to different things, and her milk never came in. Doesn't mean she was a bad mother, doesn't mean there was something wrong with her. It just simply means that her body was not ready at that time. And that's another thing we need to understand, mothers, that you need to listen to your body. Just because you want your body to do something right at that moment doesn't mean it's going to happen, because your body might simply not just be ready at that moment to do what you want it to do. And you have to be patient with your body too, because when you add stress to just being a new mom, it's gonna make your situation even longer than it's supposed to be, because you want this, but your body is going in its own speed, in its own time. You have to remember your body's healing. You just gave birth. Like, do I need to go into the birthing story? It's not an easy thing to do, so you need to give yourself time. So now I'm gonna play a couple of clips of a couple of women talking about their own experiences, and then we'll wrap this up.
Hey guys, all right, so this is my second baby. My first one is up here. With my daughter, I breastfed for I think a year and a half, maybe a little bit more. And I remember just getting to that point where it felt really uncomfortable, and I had to stop. But it was really important for me to breastfeed for that first year at least. I knew I wanted to make it to at least a year and a half. Obviously because of the benefits that comes with breastfeeding. You develop a closer bond with your baby, and all the nutrients in the breast milk. And what are you smiling about? Moments like this, and yeah, this is my son, this is my second baby, and I'm choosing to breastfeed again. And I wouldn't change it for anything, but I'm not gonna say it's an easy process, or it doesn't take away from just being able to do the things that I need to, because I think after having a child, one of the most difficult things as a mother is still remaining you, and still holding on to your identity. And that's kind of hard when most of your time is spent in moments like this. Not that I would trade it, but if we're not sugarcoating it, it's not easy. There's moments I would like to jump up and go get certain things done, but number one priority would be to stay home and make sure baby is fed. And yes, the option of pumping the milk and leaving it in a bottle is there, but I don't know why. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Not just that, but I feel a little nervous, because I'm like, okay, but what if he starts drinking the bottle and then he doesn't want the booby anymore? So I'm threatened by a bottle. This is not natural. One of the things I love about breastfeeding is, again, obviously having these moments. But to talk about pros and cons, alright, so this is kind of my comfort side. So I find that I spend a lot of time feeding him on this side, which is not good, because then this breast, will get either too small because I'm not feeding him enough, so it's not reproducing the milk fast enough. And then, on this side, when he's sleeping, it gets super heavy because it's producing too much milk. So the downside of breastfeeding is dealing with the fact that your breasts are never really the same size. Other than that, the pain of the first few seconds when you put the breast in his mouth, and it hurts like a bitch. Sorry, I'm swearing. I'm a swear. Super hurts. It hurts. Still getting used to that. And yeah, in terms of sex, my breasts are off limits. There's no foreplay going on here. Oh, but yeah, breastfeeding, I wouldn't change it for the world. Obviously, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna work and be away from working and still maintain that relationship with him through pumping. You smiling again? But yeah, when that time comes, I'll deal with it. But for now, I'm gonna soak up these moments because they're lit.
Hello everyone, my name is Emma. I'll be talking about my breastfeeding experience for Womi's YouTube channel. I have 2 children, and I tried to breastfeed the first one and the second one. And the first one, my sister helped a little bit. She was able to give me breast milk for about a month. and which is okay for you to give other people's breast milk to your child. It's safe by public health. So I tried to breastfeed my first son for about like 3. Even I tried more, but it didn't work. Even society made me look like a bad mom. Even still trying for 3 months, because every time I bring out the formula, they'll be like, "Hey, this begin at 3 months, so you don't give a formula." It was very hard, especially with society. It was so hard. Mom, so with my second child, it got better. As soon as I gave birth to her, a lot of, like, the next day, I started seeing a lot of production of milk. It was good. I was breastfeeding her until like 7 months. I didn't have to do what I did with my first son for my second child. It was much easier because I guess my body was reacting different. I don't know what was going on, but at first it was hard with my first child. So I breastfed her until like 7 months. She stopped taking the breast milk on her own. She didn't want to take it, even though I kept on trying. And I started giving her formula at 8 months. So now she's 9 months, and I'm still sometimes producing a little bit of breast milk. I'm still producing a little bit of breast milk. But with my son, it was not. With my daughter and my son, the breastfeeding process was different. I stressed a lot with my son. I didn't have to stress with my daughter. It was such an easy process and straightforward. And society makes us look so much bad. Like, oh, when they see you holding a bottle of formula, you're a bad mom. You're not taking care of that child. You're not trying to breastfeed that child. What are you doing? Society make us feel so bad. Like, they just jump into conclusion and think that you're doing the wrong thing for your child by giving your child a formula. So what I'm trying to say today is that you're not a bad mom giving your child a formula. No one knows your health issue. No one knows what you're suffering from. Yes, you can produce milk. Do you know if I have a health issue, that's why I couldn't produce milk? So don't jump into conclusion. Like you see, like from my story, my first child, I couldn't produce milk. It was hard. I only produced milk for 2 months. And my son, after that 2 months, my son wouldn't take it anymore. And see, for my daughter, the next 2 days, as soon as I came out from the hospital, my breast milk started coming out. And I was able to breastfeed her for 7 months until she started taking formula. That was because she stopped taking formula, and I couldn't do anything about that. It was not my fault. She just stopped on her own. Maybe she didn't like the taste of the breast milk anymore. I don't know. Maybe that's why she stopped. Who knows? So don't make people feel bad because they can't breastfeed. You don't know what you're going through in life. So please, when you see a breastfeeding mom, try to encourage them. Or when you see a mom that is feeding with formula, also try to encourage them that what they are doing is a great job, because you don't know what they are passing through. Even stress can make your breast milk not to come out. Stress alone. So always be positive with any new mom or moms you see. Don't give them wrong information that, oh, the child will be so slow if you give them formula. Who said that? Where did you hear that from? Please, my brother and
Hi, my name is Maswa, your mentor. I'm a wife, a mother of 2, and an author. I'm here today to let you know that it is recommended that we feed our babies with breast milk. So breast milk contains antibodies that helps your baby fight off bacteria,
and viruses. So it's the #1 recommended way to feed your babies by pediatricians. If you can't, that's understandable, but if you can, please, I suggest using breast milk to feed your babies, which will help them to grow strong, and it's very nutritional. So that's the #1 recommended way to feed your babies. I have fed all my babies, my 2 girls, I fed them with breast milk, and I think it's the best method in my opinion. Do your research. There are so many things to do to boost your milk before having a baby. Do research, look into tips to help you boost your milk before and after having a baby. So do your best, try your best to boost your milk. If it's not working, then you can get other means to feed and take care of your babies. Stay blessed, everyone. Take care and bye.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the videos of those lovely ladies talking about their different experiences when it has to do with breastfeeding. As you can see, everyone's journey is different, everyone's experience is different, and everyone's reason is different. And I feel like that's the key thing people need to understand when it comes to breastfeeding, that what you might want for your child is not what somebody else might want for your child. And as much as, yes, in a marriage, in a relationship, whatever it is a couple that has that child. When it comes to breastfeeding, it is solely just the woman. So that should be a department that should be left alone to the woman to decide what she wants to do, because it is her body at the end of the day, and she knows what she's going through. She knows what she can handle. She knows what she can do. So all you can do as a spouse is be there for her, support her, encourage her with whatever decision she decides to do, and not make her feel bad, don't make her feel guilty about anything, because you don't want to add to the stress that society is already putting on her. You're supposed to be there as a support, as a comforter, as a strong, like their backbone, their strength. So if you're not adding to their problem that other people are adding to it, then why are you really there? Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video on breastfeeding. If you have any question or anything you would like for me to go in detail on, please do not hesitate to comment or message me privately. You can follow me on my Instagram handle at elo_wumi, and see you next time on ogidiimasuen.